Woolworths was the shop that I always wanted to buy from.
So hello everyone, welcome to another episode of our podcast series On the Couch with the Unconventional CA. Today we're shooting at our strategic partners premises, Regent Business School, and I have a special guest exactly from Regent Business School, Hoosen, your head of RBS.
No, I actually look after the elevator, so official title Operations Manager.
Operations Manager.
Making sure that the elevator works.
I love that. Yeah. I like how you brought that aspect into it. Entrepreneurs, I think this is going to be a very critical episode for you to pay attention to, especially in the educational aspect of entrepreneurship and how it plays a crucial role for you to succeed in your journey. We've got Hoosen here who's going to give us some nuggets of wisdom as to how this whole ecosystem ties in. And Hoosen, I want to start off with, how does Regent Business School really prepare students for the evolving demands of the business world, and what makes your guys' approach so unique to it?
Yeah, I would have loved to have a small picture to demonstrate what I'm going to tell you, but in a nutshell, we've developed what we are calling a contemporary education ecosystem. Mouthful. But effectively what it looks at doing is there are three units, if you wish, within our ecosystem. The first is the academic delivery. That's where you get that piece of paper, and academics don't like me to call it a piece of paper, but you know, that formal qualification. So that's the academic program. Then we have two units within Regent that are our maker spaces and our entrepreneurship experiential spaces. The first is the iLead Lab. So that's our tech maker space. Effectively, we've got 3D printers, laser cutters, robotics, etc., etc. And the second unit that we have is the Red Hub, which is the entrepreneurial unit. And what we've been working very hard to do over the past 2 years in particular is integrating the two units into the academic program. So when you register at Regent and the fee that you pay is for the academic program, you get as a bonus, if you wish, access to the lab, the iLead Lab and the Red Hub, and there we expose you to 4IR technology, futuristic things that are happening, but more importantly, practical, experiential, hands-on entrepreneurship. And so that triangle, if you wish, you know, and they say the triangle is the strongest structure that you can get, you know. So that triangle works so well with each other, so that the students get the theoretical foundation academically, gets the practical foundation through the Red Hub, and gets a futuristic, if you wish, technology basis through the iLead Lab.
An interesting analogy, the triangle being the strongest structure in any foundation one needs to consider. So using that, there are many skills and knowledge that entrepreneurs actually need to formulate for themselves when they're aspiring to enter into business. So what would you suggest, taking that analogy into account, that are foundationally critical before any aspiring entrepreneur decides to go into business?
Yeah. So allow me then to expand on the analogy of the triangle and make it into a pyramid, because then I've got more touch points to talk through. I think any good entrepreneur would have some basic foundational skills, which ideally we try and expose them through their journey with us. One would be critical thinking, problem solving, creativity and innovation. Communication and collaboration, and finally digital literacy. If you just consider these 5 or 6 elements that we spoke about, it creates potentially a rounded individual. But more importantly, these skill sets have been described as sort of 21st century skill sets. So our end result is to create graduates, and again another term that we've coined is plug and play graduates. So we want our students to come out of here having this kind of skills that irrespective of where they are placed, they can make a contribution almost from day one. They don't need to be retaught or taught what needs to be done. Yeah, I think that will capture it, yeah.
So if you're a youth entrepreneur or a young entrepreneur aspiring to get into business, don't know how to get into it, here's your pyramid for success. First one, critical thinking. Second one, being able to problem solve. Third one, creativity and collaboration. Fourth one, innovation. Fifth one, digital literacy. And the last one, communication. Critical. If you want to learn more, give us a shout at Unconventional CA and we'll put you in touch with Hoosen and they will help you build your pyramid of success towards your journey of entrepreneurship itself. Now, speaking about this whole entrepreneurship ecosystem here, Hoosen, Regent, you guys just recently signed up with us at UCA to integrate the real world practical experience with the entrepreneurial development programs that you're offering on it. Why?
Yeah, so I think it's again about recognizing that as an institution, our knowledge sometimes is confined or limited to the four walls within our building, right? And many of our academics are full-time academics. They don't necessarily have the opportunity to experience real-world practice. And academic in itself is a full-time job. It's a real-world practice in its own. So how do we keep on keeping up to date? And one way of doing that is to find subject matter experts in the field. And you guys just happen to be convenient for that. From what we understood and read and through our meetings, we recognize that you guys play a vital role in the ecosystem, but your knowledge that you guys have picked up over the past few years will certainly aid us in improving our delivery. So like that, we have a few strategic partners that are meant to give us what's happening on the frontiers of knowledge. You know, so we may be creators of knowledge, but some of you are the developers of knowledge. There's a slight difference between the two.
Certainly.
Yeah.
You've identified a critical point there, collaboration and subject matter experts. Now, many small business owners don't want to or understand the importance of collaboration in that there. How do you see that as an important beneficial aspect, taking into account Regent Business School is no small brand. It's a well-established brand. You guys been around for 25 years plus. You're international. You've got multiple locations. You're still willing to be humble and say, guys, we're not only the experts here. There are other people out there.
Yeah, I think it's a matter of maturity and probably hitting your head against the wall a few times before you realize that there may be a quicker way to market, there may be a quicker way of learning. So don't take for granted whatever institutions are out there, both academic, non-academic, organizations, etc. They are limited largely by what they know and what they've learned, but there are other forms of knowledge and skills that need to be acquired. And so you can write a case study about it and learn it, or you can collaborate. And the important point here is the word collaboration, right? So a lot of people fear what collaboration often means is losing some identity. Actually, collaboration isn't about that. Collaboration is helping you to improve your identity and your skill set. So it's something we would encourage, yeah.
So if you're an aspiring entrepreneur and you're just starting out and you feel that your journey is lonely, remember, collaborate with others who can help uplift your identity. It's not necessarily going to devalue your identity.
Just on that point, you'll be surprised how often people out there, and we call them mentors and coaches, you know, we give them a title. But even if they don't have that title, there are a lot of ordinary entrepreneurs, ordinary, extraordinary entrepreneurs that would love to share their skills and their knowledge. It's sometimes our fear of, of rejection, and maybe you'll be rejected for a number of reasons. They are busy people, they're busy growing and making their empires, or even just surviving. They may not have time to give you. But if you are lucky and you find the right person or the right institution, kind of skills that they'll give you, the kind of knowledge, the kind of what they've learned in their falling forward, what we call failure, falling forward, will help you to avoid those and to accelerate. So guys, you must find a way of collaborating with people.
So can I be brave enough to say we can do a call out to entrepreneurs out there and say Regent Business School and UCA gives a cohort of 5 entrepreneurs the opportunity to come through and we run a workshop for them?
Why not? Let's try it.
Okay, there we go. Entrepreneurs, if you're listening out there, be sure to follow us for more information on this, and we will share details around it. Or otherwise, drop us an email at support@unconventionalca.org if you're interested in it, and we will get back to you on more information. Now, Hoosen, I know you guys also through the Red Hub and iLead Lab have run a few of these workshops around ideation stage businesses. Share some of the insights just through your personal experiences that helps shape the perspective on education in this field and how crucial it is for entrepreneurs to have a foundation first before they even get into executing business.
No, absolutely important. I think everyone has, if not innately, deeply, they've got an idea of how they think they want to make the world better. Ultimately, entrepreneurship, besides making money, which is nothing wrong with that and it's good, is about wanting to make things better for customers, and in that way, make the world a better place. And so what we've learned through our exercises, in a typical boot camp, or it's a new term for workshop, in a typical boot camp we would have a wide variety, a wide age group of participants. We've got freshman students, and in our last one we had 2 really, and I'm say this in a nice way, matured, experienced medical practitioners. They were well over 50 years old, and they coming together in this innovation boot camp that we arranged, and then knowledge sharing between them was phenomenal. But what was key is what was happening during tea breaks and the kind of discussions you have with people to say, I've been doing this for so many years. I'm talking of the sort of older, mature people. What I've learned today, I didn't think I would have, in my experience over the years. So I think one of the takeaways for us is the opportunity. I suppose it goes back to collaboration to some extent, right? But the opportunity to communicate with others, to say I don't know what I don't know, and through that be able to find that sweet spot to say I found my calling, or I found the idea, and hopefully take that to the point of some tangible product.
So it's, if I have to summarize this in a nutshell, what you're saying is if you have an idea out there and you don't know where to start, the foundational aspect is do your research, get involved in some form of program or educational environment, and that can then help infiltrate and close those gaps for you and give you a better opportunity of succeeding.
Yeah. Again, like I said, I've probably got 10 ideas in my mind or any one time. I know that 9.5 of them are not going to work, right? Or I suspect that they're not going to work. But it's a debate that's going on between my heart and my head. I need to validate that with real people, with potential customers. I need to validate that in an environment of experts and expertise out there. And so the best way of doing that is, as you're saying, get into some sort of a program where it can be teased out, the tough questions are asked before you spend the first rand in developing something. Too often good ideas die with inventors. Too often good ideas die early on because a lot of thought hasn't gone through it, and sometimes a good idea becomes a breakthrough great idea, and it's finding that is key to the, I suppose, to the success of an entrepreneur.
And that talks to your pyramid of success points, where if you aren't able to critically think, problem solve, communicate and collaborate, be creative, innovative, and include digital literacy into your idea, it's likely to fail.
Yeah. And I don't think there's a specific, what's the right word, ingredient or recipe. But the more that you have, the better it's going to be.
Giving yourself a better chance to succeed.
Correct.
So why give yourself the worst opportunity when there is an opportunity that's lying at your fingertips and you're able to utilize it?
Correct.
So, we spoke now just about digital literacy itself. Digital transformation is a hot topic for all businesses. Now, you guys do a lot of work in the 4IR. You've got the iLead Lab and the Red Hub itself. And you've encouraged entrepreneurs to come through and bring in these technology ideas and harness it into something further. What are the common pitfalls that you'd say if someone wants to go into a technology idea that they need to be mindful of to avoid?
Yeah, I think probably the first one is people don't know enough about the environment. So they've skimmed through something, they've picked up an idea from someone, and they think that their idea is going to be the next, let's call it Uber, right? Or the next technology. There's a lot of background and thinking that goes into a technology type of idea in particular. So the digital literacy level of the person who wants to get involved in it, they don't necessarily need to be coders or programmers, but they need to have enough skill so that when they engage with coders and programmers and people in those fields, they can find that happy medium between my vision and the execution of how it ought to be. So I think that's probably the first one. People don't know the depth of what is required before they venture into something like that. Number two, we probably know that almost everything in our environment nowadays involves some level of digital technology. And so it's an almost unavoidable context that you need to work in, or an environment that you need to work in. I would suggest even if you are making a canoe, the best skills out there to make it, or the best knowledge of learning to make it, probably lies on YouTube or somewhere along that line. That is some engagement that you're doing with digital technology. Right. So again, engaging with that is going to be key. I probably could rattle out one or two more, but I think those 2 points would set the foundation.
So if you're an entrepreneur or aspiring entrepreneur looking to start a technology business, just be mindful of the following. Point one, you said technical requirements. Understand your technical environment and what it takes to actually start a technical business. And the second one is understand the customer environment and the problem you're trying to resolve. Crucial. Otherwise, you're going to fall short and you're going to fall flat on your face. And then most importantly, if you're struggling to actually get any of this stuff, why not come through and visit the iLead Lab? They might be able to help you with one or two things.
Yeah, and we won't charge you too much.
I love that, even better. And don't forget, I have said on this podcast that we will be releasing some more information on a workshop for 5 lucky entrepreneurs through joint collaboration with Regent Business School and UCA to help you from an ideation stage to grow your business, taking into account what Regent Business School has to offer from an educational perspective in entrepreneurship and what UCA can provide you from a practical real-world experience element in taking your business to a commercialization stage. So for those listeners out there who might be interested in either pursuing any form of education further, what steps should they take and what should they look for in an educational institution?
Yeah, so I suppose Regent in some respects is a niche market, niche institution. We're known as a business school. So if you're looking at sort of entrepreneurial business type of skills, skill sets, then probably Regent is an avenue to go to.
Where can they find more about Regent?
The easiest way is through our website. So it's regent.ac.za, and all the details that you need are there. The different courses that we run, the costing, the who to speak to, etc.
Any information offhand of some of the courses that entrepreneurs might be
Oh no,
open?
I've got too many. So there's two
Give us the
exciting.
top 5.
Yeah. So I won't talk academic because there are too many to go through. I'm probably most excited about our new offering, which is coming very soon. We've curated a series of short learning programs, about 22 of them so far, which we call the Just in Time program, JIT. And the reason the reason I in particular I'm so happy about it is the format of the program. Firstly, it's an online delivery program. You learn at your own pace. Number 2 is you can plug in anywhere in that journey. There's a journey between the first and the last. And if you need a particular skill set, you can, I need HR as a skill set in my business. You plug in into that one in particular. However, we encourage people to start right in the beginning, right? And then go through the journey. So I'm probably most excited about the JIT program, the Just in Time program. And if you're watching this probably in the next week or two, you're going to see an advert out there talking about the launch of the JIT program.
Lovely. So if you're an entrepreneur aspiring to be an entrepreneur and you're struggling with your time and you don't know how to execute the next steps towards getting your business idea into reality, why not try the Just in Time program? Reach out to us at Unconventional CA and we will help you, put you in touch with the right people at Regent Business School to get you into that program itself. To all those entrepreneurs out there and all our viewers, I hope you enjoyed this and it was meaningful for you from an educational perspective to understand the foundations that are critical for you when it comes to growing your business or even starting a business itself. Till next time.